Hey, what's going on, guys? It's No Shoes, and we're back with another Aesop Rock Day. Today, we're going to be reacting to Living Curfew featuring Billy Woods. This is suggested by Radiohead in the Sky. So thank you, Radiohead, for the suggestion. Keep them coming in the comments down below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you want to see more Ace on the channel every single Friday. Without any further ado, let's get right into it. Let's see what Living Curfew is all about. Let's see what Ace and Billy Woods have to say. Let's get it.
Golden hours like mom tripping. You come down here right this instant. Sits on the front step, chips and a sunk is dumb for a sunk is brick a pick. When I click, it's difficult to pick one. I depict the wisdom in a particular condition like plain old birds on the same old foo fight. Rebranded and draped in a good light. Boat break from a day.
Okay, nice feel coming in. Ace just starting right off the rip, pushing against that beat. No time to warm up. Just a couple bars of intro here. Let's bring it back just a little bit.
You come down here right.
Want to hear right before the verse starts.
Golden hours like mom tripping. You come down here.
Yeah, that's nice. Having kind of like a rhythmic synth over the top as like the melody of sorts. Then Ace comes in, drums and bass line both start with his vocal. Really adds to that punch, adds a little meat to that start there.
Golden hours like mom tripping. You come down here right this instant. Sits on the front step, chips and a sunk is dumb for a sunk is brick a pick. When I click, it's difficult to pick one. I depict the wisdom in a particular condition like plain old birds on the same old foo fight. Rebranded and draped in a good light. Boat break from a day at the bullfight. Or to come pray in the radiant bullseye. I don't blame y'all. The force awakens on Flatbush Avenue, forest bathing. Blood pressure ain't a
great feel to this. There's definitely some syncopation going on between the layers. I don't think so, but it's possible some polyrhythms. But there's definitely kind of like a slight askew, off-kilter type of feeling where it almost feels like I'm losing track of where the beat's lining up with Ace. But it feels good. It feels solid, and he's definitely given us some of his faster flows so far.
In a particular condition like plain old birds on the same old foo fight. Rebranded and draped in a good light. Boat break from a day at the bullfight. Or to come pray in the radiant bullseye. I don't blame y'all. The force awakens on Flatbush Avenue, forest bathing. Blood pressure ain't a touch extra. My cholesterol back to nothing special. Skin clear and my legs strong and my spine fused and my grain gone and bodega spangled in a mere 35 octillion lumens at a low angle through
talking a little bit about his health, blood pressure, his cholesterol, how his legs are feeling.
Fall back to nothing special. Skin clear and my legs strong and my spine fused and my grain gone and bodega spangled in a mere 35 octillion lumens at a low angle through incense smoke from a folding table. It's basically nature's stolen cable till it ain't. Time is a pick to the ice. Right when you chillin', it be chipping at the vibe. Most tipper hadn't slipping to the high, but I dip into the grid. Rats sniffing out the mines like.
Hold up. We gotta bring that back. First of all, the sitar is a great addition to the beat. Love the feel of that, man. Just kind of playing around up in the top. Really takes advantage of the fact that there's not like a super strong or clear melody on this track. Like I said, we have that rhythmic synth that kind of brings us in, but there's not a lot of mobility in it. It's kind of just monotone going across the top. So then the sitar really comes in and adds that movement for us as far as going through the going up and down the scale, if you will. But let's hear this beat change.
Right when you chillin', it be chipping at the vibe. Most tipper hadn't slipping to the high, but I dip into the grid. Rats sniffing out the mines like. Like pop while and it's
okay. Love the feel. That feels like somebody's like up on the mountain blowing like a big like a horn just for all like the Vikings of the town to hear. Love the texture, that fuzz on the bass. Great transition, super smooth. And then at least in the first part of this track, what I realized is while there were drums going on, Ace is great at making himself the intrigue and the structure of the track at the same time, because my head was much more aligning with where his downbeats were in his verse rather than where the downbeat of the drum pattern was just happening to align with the verse, if that makes sense to y'all.
Night falls like pop wild and it's coming in hot, trying not to fight it. That helicopter, that 5-0 siren, CD squawking, Bombitos vice grips. I mean Brian Eno mixtape, an ego lifeless, adrift in the eye of the side quest. Sign me, please don't feed the wildlife unless on me to mislead the night shift. Sun is whirlwind, Kanji or out flush from the brush pen of Kim Jong G swirling. Junkyard tires and love seats and house pets all swept up in a one beast to love, y'all. Bring your adult teeth and move in the lulls. A pulse and a juice with the pulp. Midnight pushing up, seeing Katamari. Birds little long man, what army, huh?
Hold up. Bring that back, man. Great verse, clean delivery, very unique structure, having that like little break in between coming back for that little short verse. We'll see how much longer that continues and when Billy comes in. Great delivery, a lot more of a plodding feeling now that we got that heavy bass in the bottom here.
Love seats and house pets all swept up in a one beast to love, y'all. Bring your adult teeth and move in the lulls. A pulse and a juice with the pulp. Midnight pushing up, seeing Katamari. Birds little long man, what army, huh? Lows of weeper in the wheat hour, speaking of low in the ether. I could see him in a earth tone low hat and throwback shoes like Gus so at Easter.
Yo, that echo right there was beautiful on the huh. Just huh, just kind of keeping pace with everything else. Hold up.
Lows of weeper in the wheat hour, speaking of low in the ether. I could see him in a earth tone low hat and throwback shoes like Gus so at Easter. I could bounce ideas off an angel, a demon, or any other brand of Cthulhu. I could rinse in the ambient wind, but I can't relate the intangibles. Crystals in the handle of my hammer to the amber light. Crystals in the handle of my hammer to the amber light.
And then we got that synth coming in up in the top, like, just beautiful layers, man. This is one of those tracks where maybe by the end we'll find out I'm wrong, but the chaos and insanity just keeps building. We start in a place that's pretty well anchored. Then it starts to grow. That bass line hits. It gets a little bit more plodding. That heavy bass is still there. The sitar is really what sets it all off. And now we're coming through, you know, like another metamorphosis of this beat with that synth up in the top, the bass coming back to be more in the foreground like it was when it was first introduced. We got a little bit more of a vocal coming through on this section here. Let's bring this back just a little bit.
Crystals in the handle of my hammer to the amber light. Crystals in the handle of...
And there's a sound in here that's very interesting. It's kind of going like, wow, wow. And it bagpipe is the first thing that comes to mind. It sounds like a woodwind instrument, but then as it like kind of morphs and goes higher, it starts to sound like a voice, like a sample or of a vocal or something. I can't put my finger on what it is exactly, but it adds a great element to this section.
Crystals in the handle of my hammer to the amber light. Crystals in the handle of my hammer to the amber light.
Ooh.
I walk the city strictly witching hours, feeling dangerous.
Beautiful the way they're doing it. We had it the first time the bass came in. We have it again. Strip everything away. Almost make it feel muted. Let us acclimate to all of that insanity and kind of catch our breath for a second with the simplicity, and then pop right back into the verse. Now we got Billy. Let's bring it back and keep it rolling.
I walk the city strictly witching hours. Feeling dangerous, feeling like I gave you power. Trees rustling, they sleep, wildlife scurry to feed. It's a light on in the tower. Shadows move in the deep smile, rows of redundant teeth, they can see you's a coward. Street lamps is buoys and oceans of black. I'm swimming on my back, the moon buddy, yellow piece of crack in the firmament. Peer into the dark, Copernicus, fellow travelers past tense.
Yo, firmament to Copernicus. Very different sounds, similar amount of syllables, and with a slight bend, it fits really well.
The moon buddy, yellow piece of crack in the firmament. Peer into the dark, Copernicus, fellow travelers past tense, wondering if it's our turn in the tournament. Every morning on the steps with my little herb. Every morning a mad woman come through feeding the birds. Walking crazy fast, tossing fistfuls of bread. Might as well be feeding the rats, but the rats already well fed.
Okay, hold up. Let's bring this back, man. Talking about feeding the birds, throwing bread. Now we feeding rats. Billy's verse is definitely a little bit easier to understand. He's definitely got a little bit of a slower flow, kind of pacing things out just a little bit further, those spaces in between the bars, where Ace's verses, while amazing, are so overwhelming to listen to, especially on the first rip the majority of the time, because he jams his bars together. He'll just break that bar line, and sometimes you don't even notice until you're like 3 bars later and it finally hits that punch. But the way he inflects and everything keeps that pace up. Very complementary styles between the two of them. It's beautiful to see what they can both offer on this track.
With my little herb. Every morning a mad woman come through feeding the birds. Walking crazy fast, tossing fistfuls of bread. Might as well be feeding the rats, but the rats already well fed. Fentanyl in the pack, if they could, they come back from the dead and buy it again. I remember when nights was ambulance sirens, watching them put bodies inside them. Sometimes somebody outside wilding on empty streets, dead silent, half empty stores, scared to breathe. I sit on steps now with my little weed. I walk the long way around the jacks, them brothers looking.
And it's interesting, like this section right here is almost put into like halftime, where Billy, his flow doesn't really change speed, but the instrumental underneath, everything, like the space between the notes is kind of like doubled. And it leads to this slower, even more like off kilter feeling where, you know, as you guys might have noticed, I was like trying to orient myself and find where like I could actually bounce with it. Very difficult, but then once I kind of understood what was happening, it all started to line up a lot better.
Again, I remember when nights was ambulance sirens.
And again, that echo, just bah, 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 bah. Beautiful. Love the feel of that. Just the big, spacious type of energy it brings.
Remember when nights was ambulance sirens, watching them put bodies inside them. Sometimes somebody outside wilding on empty streets, dead silent, half empty stores, scared to breathe. I sit on steps now with my little weed. I walk the long way around the jacks, them brothers looking a little lean. I'm taciturn on this trip, I get my shit turned and I leave. Pachyderm, I never forget the faces of thieves. Head full of worms, some days it's bees. Some mornings the air feels clean. I can see her coming, trundling down the block. Then stop, picked a dead bird off the curb, stuffed it in her bag. Teeth barely bared when she hurried past.
Damn. Absolutely amazing. Definitely threw me for a loop in a couple places. After acclimating a little bit, all of those decisions made a lot more sense. Thank you again to Radiohead in the Sky for this suggestion. That was Living Curfew from Aesop Rock and Billy Woods. I'll definitely be listening to this track a couple more times to really dig into it. But much love to everybody in the No Shoes gang. Don't forget to hit like, hit subscribe, and hit that bell. Keep those suggestions coming in the comments down below. And I will see you all next time.